Good evening and welcome to Tuesday night. Thank God it's Tuesday. On behalf of First Summit Sports, I'm Ken Meringolo. He's Kevin Ricca.
I'm very happy to be here. Last second adjustments needed no adjusting. It's Tuesday night.
Joined with us tonight, Derek Elphick, sir.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, appreciate
Great to be here.
Obviously, we will keep everybody posted on any comings and goings of our HR disaster, our in-house human resources scenario. Yeah, no. T did it again. It was an Enton Men's bakery setup at Safeway a month ago, and this guy walks into a Giant and right in front of the French baguettes. I mean, just tall, majestic, statuesque baguettes. And T, let's just say he went full French baguette on the baguettes. So
while yelling, it's time to make the donuts.
Well, it's time to make the donuts. So, anyways, we were so close to him being back full time. We're getting, but keep T in your thoughts. He's doing better, but it's every day is a struggle. So and we do expect for him to be able to be back here soon. But he is fighting the good fight, and we love you, buddy. We know you're watching, so get on the board. We're gonna get we want to get him in, but we want to make it good for his schedule. Off season,
his bakery schedule or his regular?
Yeah, I
think bakery's open up early as hell. He should be fine.
It's our fault, him not fulfilling that like he, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm talking about.
I believe it was fulfilled.
There's a lot of fulfillment.
Was there another bullet point that we had?
We had some bullet points.
Oh, nice.
We're going to talk about the offseason. We're going to talk about where we're at as the Commanders organization a little bit. Obviously, we have a Giants fan here. We're going to do some league stuff. We want to talk about the landscape and the nature of the league. This week was league meetings. Not the sexiest of events in terms of the NFL, but it always is like super meaningful. These freaking guys. So all the head coaches were in Palm Beach, I think, and the league got together to talk about a bunch of things. So I won't list them all out. Does anybody have anything that struck them as, I don't know, life changing, or the most important rule change? Or what's happening in general with the league?
I thought it was interesting that both teams will be able to touch the football in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting to me, as opposed to just the score and call it quits, because just the way teams are built and a coin flip determines too much. I thought that was cool. I like it. It makes sense to me.
They changed the rules to favor offense. Not very many years ago, but the league now the rules do favor the offense. Therefore, it's not fair to put to say offenses can't touch the ball. But I was surprised that they didn't extend from 10 to 15 minutes.
It doesn't make much sense, but I think it's for the high-powered offense, I guess.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, Redskins had a few 12-play, almost 10-minute drives, 7, 8, 9-minute drives. I'll take that in OT all day.
No, it's interesting. That made no sense to me whatsoever, but it felt like some TV shit. But
the 10-minute thing?
Yeah. Why not? Why? I think there's some flack on the board as well. Like, anyone? Why wouldn't you just let? I mean, shit.
They talked about making it 15 again. They talked about going back to it.
I think it's legit.
It's to do that. Especially now that you're going to let both offenses have a shot at the ball. But my guess is they'll now that they're tinkering, they'll continue to tinker. I thought that
12 minutes.
You wanted to go to 12?
13. How about 13?
Absolutely. Anything.
So what is the new rule? How does it work?
It's basically playoff rules in the regular season. They're like,
oh, okay.
You can't. If you score a touchdown right away, that doesn't end the game. The other team goes on offense.
Right. You get fair ups.
It's good for totals.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah. That'll definitely be.
Way to see the silver lining, man.
Right.
So you're a glass half full kind of dude. Let's see. They changed like some little stuff. No really need to go too much into that. I thought that obviously they punted on. I think that was actually the headline. Whatever. They pushed off the tush push. They pushed the tush push for a future date. 16 teams were ready to ban it. 16 teams weren't. I guess they feel like the 16 teams that want to ban it are going to really start politicking. They need 8 more teams. So 8 of the 16 teams who are currently, and I don't know who everyone is. I don't even know what we voted, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say we probably voted to ban it.
Where we stand as a franchise on the ass push scenario, I don't know either.
I don't know. And I honestly, well, especially now, I don't care. But I don't care in the sense that I don't care. Whatever. If
DQ kept it on the down low. He said, kept it not on the down low. He kept it cool. He was like, "Oh, well, I'm trying to figure out how to stop it."
Yeah.
I mean, he diffused it, but I like that we're not out there bitching about it because
exactly
that's some old shit. But let them figure it out. I appreciate JP Finley's perspective that he said, you know what, I can see this, letting the NFL let the tush push eat itself by making sure they get up in there in the neutral zone and don't let any infractions happen on the line of scrimmage. And
that's what call the offsides. Yeah. If you're gonna do the play, call the offsides.
Exactly. I just said it because I read that on the way over here, but also it makes sense.
JP got that from us.
You've said it from day one, and that's why I just said that. Yeah. I read him say that on the way over here. I just didn't want anyone to think that that was my original thought.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to think about it because I'm done talking about it. But you know what? Talk about it now when we don't have shit else to talk about.
That's right.
That's fine. Offseason, push the shit out of ourselves, but let's let it go. Figure it out, and then just it is what it is. But it didn't make any sense to me seeing all those helmets on both sides of the ball, and the referees couldn't even get their heads in there to figure it out. So do it that way, do it this way, do something. Anything that kicks Philly in one of the nuts makes me feel good.
I hate the idea of banning a play because no one can stop it. I think that is like not the spirit of how we were brought up and how we played the game. So even though it's bitten us in the ass, I hate that. So
yeah, I'm with you.
So if they just call offsides in neutral zone infractions on that play, if they just started doing that, they would throw so many flags that it would, like you say, eat itself. I mean, it would be a situation.
Right. Does the NFL want the 6th and 7th grade freaking the Bears in the local Pee Wee League lining up in 4th and then just running this play over and over again?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, for God's sake.
They can't want
No. Right?
No,
like,
and truthfully.
Hey, little center, someday you're going to be a tush push center because of your low centrifugal force. Now ram your head into those guys repeatedly, like they tried to stop years and years ago. Like whatever. To me,
I just looked up who was for and against, and it's speculation. I guess you don't know. Exactly.
I don't know.
Like it's unreleased.
Yeah.
I think if they banned it, I'd rather be a team that voted against banning it, while at the same time being happy it's banned. But again, I think this was like a classic political result. They didn't have the votes to get it done, so they didn't vote on it. So there was no official vote. It wasn't like it was 16-16 voted. It's like the 16 teams are for and 16 teams are against. Got to have 24 to make a rule, and so no votes. If they don't have the vote, they don't have the vote. So the other thing that they did that Ken Harris said, by the way, Ken Harris, EO, manner of speaking, Greg Martin, NES, Rhett, AGH.
What a great group of just mindful
maybe some other folks out there too.
Fans.
The board is the best.
I agree, Derek.
I love the board.
Are you on the board here?
I just went on to try to find out this info, but it's all speculation.
It's all speculation.
Yeah.
Expanded role for replay assist, says Ken Harris. I'll throw that up there. So we saw and we've seen, and of course we've been on the terrible side of it as well. The guy watching it from somewhere calls into the headphone of the ref on the field and he just tells him on the spot, "Hey, that wasn't a catch," or that that was a first down, or it should be blah blah blah, and they make the change, and it's almost like they don't even feel the need to announce it all the time. They're just like, you're like, wait a second, what happened?
I want to hear the lost tapes. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to hear the lost tapes.
What are you idiot? Who can't see that down? Jack was standing right there.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, it's a no catch, dumbass. I just want to hear the whole thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're going to see more, not so much more of that, but more of if a flag is thrown, and like for a face mask or a horse collar or something like that, they can waive off the penalty, but they can't with the replay assist. But they can't if they miss the call altogether, then they can't go back and call that foul. So on one hand,
Thank God. If that ever happens, then we all might as well just kiss our Sundays
oh,
goodbye.
yeah.
Games will be 9 hours.
That's the reason why they had to stay. They tried challenging pass interference. I mean, that was the worst decision ever.
Yeah.
Every single play in slow motion. If I get, they're like, oh, there it was. See where he touched to it frame. He touched him on the shoulder. That's when the penalty started. Therefore, it's pass interference. So, anyways, that sucked. Thankfully, they got that right. But don't you think they'll be throwing that flag more now because they know they can be rescued?
Some guys, yeah.
Okay.
Other guys that are good will continue being good. And the guys that are striving to get there have a way to go. There's some great crews and there's some terrible guys out there.
There are. It's like tennis.
It just takes one.
When you just have to, there's no way I think you're thinking about context when I think they're just doing their job.
I agree.
There's no way that they're making those kind of calls.
No.
I don't think.
I know it's entered into their like programming, like the code at this point in time with regard to like if something happens on the field, they'll swallow their whistle, to let the play go on so that someone can challenge whether or not what just happened, but like it won't result in, they won't call play dead. So that, but I also will say that I was talking to someone about it today. I was saying, we get to call every kind of sport. We've called it all. Anything that can be umpired or refereed, we've called it. And you find the thing that I always think about in terms of this when I say things like, when you drop cliches on the air and you talk about a good no call, you talk about that was a strike in the first inning and it's still a strike here in the seventh inning, or you talk about the way the game is called by the referees. It's a part of the game, and the best referees that do it at a high level, they're not getting it wrong much, and that little subjectivity, the ability, when we look at something and we say, you know what, that's a foul. But they haven't been calling it all game, and like that's a part of the game, and that's not something that you can replay away. And I don't think we want to.
No, not in the least. And also, what we need to do is bring some more officials along. Derek will tell you a very esteemed college basketball career. I think, and I've said this on this forever. So you tell me what you think. I thought the best officials I ever dealt with were the best communicators. You would give those guys a break. The guys that were out there busting their ass, doing the same thing you were, giving everything they could at their job that day, but also in constant communication, typically at a point guard or quarterback position. That's who I dealt with, the back judge or one of the guys that talked. Hey, blah, 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 blah. That to me, you tell me what you think.
Yeah, most of the guys I dealt with are good. The only thing that used to get me, and it still gets me when I watch sports, is I feel like they come in with a plan. Like some games would be like, oh, we're going to call everything and get this under control early, right? Or some games you come out and you can do anything you want. Like it's like, it's like a rough game. So that aspect, but that's part of the game. But I always like that. But I get frustrated when I'm watching a game and suddenly they're calling everything right out of the gate, right? And you just know what it's going to be like, right? So you rarely see us change over the course of the game. So, some games you feel like they discussed it before. They're going to come in and call it tight.
A priority.
Right.
A point of interest. A point of emphasis.
I got you. Just blew out. Just Scott Foster, legendary NBA ref. Maybe the most tumultuous career. Still NBA, more Final Four, more final Game 7s than anybody. He was in our golf group 20 years ago. Family friend, known him forever. He puts his flip phone down on the green. Hey guys, this is the second round of the day. It's a Saturday. Listen to this. Bloop. It's Stu Jackson calling him, saying, "Hey, here's the deal. A year ago in Utah, so-and-so and so-and-so got into it. A month ago, they had another scrape out and blah, blah, blah. Give them two quick, right off the jump if you see any nonsense." Boom. They're game planning. That was Stu Jackson, vice president of the NBA, delivering a message to the next Tuesday's ref on a Saturday afternoon. The game plan, the report. I was blown away. If that's the same deal with a huge crew, because in the NBA, it's a three-man crew. Obviously, they're a three-man team like we are tonight. In an NFL game, there's a dozen dudes out there. There's a million people.
Yeah, but they're focused on like the line. If there's a lineman doing things, then that judge has got it. The linebacker.
It's a total different ball game aside from the fact of what Derek just brought up. That the human side of things, also the ability to have this happen the way that he just talked about. So if that's the case, if that's the game plan, I want to hear what the NFL stuff. I want to hear some of that too, because to me, it was remarkable to listen to.
Yeah, it would be amazing.
They have all that thought in their head before they get in there, just like we do.
I want to know in your either at the college, either in the college or pros, if there was a ref, like did you get the same ref a lot in the college level, or did you get the same ref a lot in the professional league that you knew going into it was either going to be a great day or a terrible day?
No, not really. They rotated him so much.
There had to have been a referee that looked at you and knew they were getting like a little bit of a chippy, edgy guy.
No, I was their all worst night.
Yes,
I was talking from the beginning, and I'm sorry, I don't even like that.
A great communicator.
From the get, I was talking right, like to the refs, but not in like a bad complaining way, right? I would just. That was
get a rapport going.
Yeah, always had the rapport going. That's how I like to put it. But some of these games, it's crazy. Like Kev said, when you think, again, what blows my mind is, to your point, the guys who fought, and then sometimes they come out and they're just like, no, we're going to let them play. I always think about one of the most egregious games I ever saw a couple years ago, probably 5 years ago now. Maryland, West Virginia NCAA tournament game was like the roughest game I've ever seen. And games like that where it's like, West Virginia just fouls. And you're going
to favors their game.
Like that's how they play.
Yeah. You're going to call it every time?
And then you're just going to let them do it.
You're going to call it every time? I don't think so.
That's what drives me crazy, right? When it's like, those are the games we got to call 2 quick penalties. Right.
And that's where the gigantic kick to the nuts would be if we could return any play, because there's holding on every play in the NFL. We can't sit around and watch it all. If it affects the play, if it's near to the play, fine. If it's backside, kiss my ass. That's not holding. That's just 2 guys figuring it out. And same thing in the post, same thing anywhere. Let these guys freaking play. At the point of attack, if there's something, I get it. If there's an arm outside, I understand it. I do. If you're impeding a guy's progress at the point of attack, fine. But if it's a backside thing that doesn't affect the play and a touchdown goes to the house because of what happened at the point of attack, and you get some bullshit from the back end, I can't stand that.
It should never be.
Well, the rules suggest, but I get it that there's guys watching different areas, so you better be damn sure of yourself if you're calling something away from the play, because you're going to get completely fried.
That should be where the guys like pick up the flag.
Exactly.
Pick up the flag.
And tell Dan to shove it up his ass and not to throw it again. Ever. Or he'll never do it. I want to hear that.
Take his flag away from him. Give him give him a tissue.
Dan. Why is it always Dan?
Give him a dirty handkerchief. Ken Harris said that the proposal to change the playoff format was also tabled to May. By the way, these guys have league meetings all the time. I feel like we were in like the era. I mean, the fact, even if when I was a kid, league meetings, I didn't know anything about. We talked about the Super Bowl that just happened, which we probably just won.
When you were a kid, there was one sports station, and it was Chris Berman. And if he didn't say league meetings, you didn't know shit about it.
And no reporters were there. No one gave a crap what Jack Ken Cook and
No, they specifically didn't report on what Jack Ken Cook and George House were doing.
Right.
That was the deal.
That was they got the Michael Jordan treatment before Michael Jordan. It was like, oh wait, these guys are all billionaires.
Yes.
Maybe I don't do a blow by blow of their evening.
Speaking of blow, thank God there were no cameras back then.
Oh, for goodness sake!
Because the guys we're talking about here, sorry, Mr. Jordan. Everyone else seemed like they were after it in the '80s. Just saying.
All right, so proposal, wild card team could be seated higher than a division winning team. That was thrown out there. So maybe I don't. Here's the thing.
Don't get upset, Ken.
Oh,
Just take a deep breath.
When the playoffs should, I love a postseason that's seated appropriately, because you see like a chalk bracket is fine. It's not the funnest, first and foremost, and secondly, it's also
unless you're holding some chalk.
Unless you're holding some chalk. But these leagues, all they are is a group of billionaires, right? And the NFL, all the NFL is, at the end of the day, it's 32 billionaires. That's all it is. And to those guys in that room, when it's just 32 people and not fan bases far and wide all over the globe, it's just those 32 guys. What they put their money in, and they're gambling against each other at the highest possible level. winning your division is a big deal. Like there's only going to be you know what
8 division winners a year.
Eight guys. 8 of those 32 guys are going to win a division, and by virtue of winning division, they get to host a playoff game, and that's extra money in their pockets, and it's a big deal. And they've been playing these teams for sometimes going on 100 years, and so winning your division, it still matters, especially to them. I think it still matters. It definitely still matters to me. But winning your division has to mean something, and you have to get something for it.
I get it, but it's damn near 1/3 of the overall schedule these days. Whereas it used to be a predominant portion of your schedule. It's just different now. And of course,
it's still the same amount of games.
Of course. And 6? I mean, shit.
I'm just saying.
When we grew up, there was 2 divisions. I mean, there was like 6. And then there was always 5 teams, and you played at least 8, half of your games. Then 8 of your 16 were against division opponents. Now 6 of your 17 are against division opponents. I mean, I see where the value is being discussed.
So here's what I would propose what I would say would be a compromise, but I know no one would see it that way. Is so I still call me romantic, as you often do.
Not.
I will say, out of the starting gate, I believe that if you win your division, you're rewarded. However, I also think that
I agree with
playoffs. You want it done and seeded properly. So if you're going to say that we're going to seed the playoffs based on, purely based on winning and not based on division, then in that case, I would propose a relegation divisional setup.
If I had a gavel, I would have smacked it right there.
Give me move them around.
Regulation. What the fuck was that again?
You move them around. So like if you're going to tell me that you're not going to let me get a reward for being the best in the NFC East because you think my division's crap, that's fine.
I don't feel that way. But
I know, not you,
right,
but or the NFC South or the AFC whatever. If you're going to tell me that it's not worth a lot because of those guys are terrible teams, I'll understand. But the answer to that is then change up the divisions. And so if you were to change up the divisions on a relegation, like the best teams are playing each other those 6 times a year. So like the best 6 NFC, that would be now you're just trampling on tradition and rivalries and home and aways, and that changes everything. But all I'm saying is if you're going to go full on best teams ranked from best to this, then every year you want those best teams playing each other 6 times a year.
I am the ultimate. You should have a home game, and not only that, it shouldn't be reseeded. And if you're upset, you get another home game, right? Even if you're that 8-8 team.
If you start at home, the only person that can post you is someone that was ahead of you.
That's 100% correct. And that dynamic, I think, is awesome. When you see one of these like teams that think they're great have to play at the 8-8 team with like the wild fans, like I love that. It's like amazing. So, that's one of my favorite things. But I get where it's all going. I think it's a great point about now there's so many games, right? It's like because you used to have a dynamic where like the GMs would have to plan so much around what division they're in. Like if you're in the NFC South with Drew Brees, you got to build this like speed defense, right?
Exactly.
And it was like such a focus, and that was cool because then you'd see, okay, they got to play some smash mouth team, like not built to stop Drew Brees, right? Like bizarre. That type of stuff was cool, but now I feel like they're not building that way. Much.
No,
it's like
we just happen to be doing it because the Eagles are in our division,
right?
But if they were in the freaking Central, we'd be doing the same shit because that's who's standing in our way,
right?
Just wouldn't be only the division; it'd be the conference and
they're in our way for
and
the
the trophy.
They're in our way.
They're in our way, so that's what we're building. But I agree,
they're in your way too.
Yeah, they are.
But they're.
We're in our way, right? Yeah.
We've been there. We understand being in our own way. We really do. Yeah. We just recently got out of our way, which is such a tremendous feeling. So I do hope that happens for you, not at our expense, because you're a true fan.
Shit. I had just had a thought about,
Oh,
and I
shit.
completely lost it. But that's okay. I mean, in terms of making the playoffs, in terms of, I mean, well, actually, the thought that I had was because you're talking about how you build your team. I was thinking about this just as a one-off today. I was like, basically, like we are a full-on NCAA Power Five basketball team. We live on the transfer portal. You know, we're changing over half our team. And again, this conversation we don't have to get into, but I was thinking about this today and about the ridiculousness of college sports. And I'm like, Adam Peters is kind of a transfer portal guy in the NFL. This is 2 years in a row. Half our squad is on a 1-year contract, and it won't always be the case. I think we'll kind of layer in.
We said 5 to 8 incrementally.
Yeah, we're gonna add
based
in
on the draft
some
because
dudes.
he nails drafts. So,
but right now we are a transfer portal whore,
I know.
and we're playing it perfectly, at least at the moment. Well, so we'll see how it goes in the second year. But
I hope we're still playing it perfectly because some of these transfer portal guys we just got, including that lefty LT. Thank God, dude. It's every day I wake up. Every day I wake up, I think about it.
And he's. I mean, we haven't. I mean, because obviously it's been since we had Trent. Is the last time we had someone that you just were like, well, we have a dude there, a dude. Now it's not about who's better between Tunsil and Trent. They're both top 5 type dudes in this era.
No, let's not even get into that.
No.
But that is that's the tier we just got to.
And he lets you move Brandon Coleman, which means he basically nets you 2 starting
splash
offensive
down
linemen.
waterfalls. Everyone cools off
Yep.
when Laramie Tunsil shows up. Everyone's role chills out. Everyone can be them. We can let this young offensive lineman freak develop on the right side and not give him the pressure of being freaking JD5's freaking left-hand man. He's the left-hand man. No, we got a guy.
Guess what? He's going to have to block some pretty
superstar.
good rushers from that side, too.
And
he'll be able to. Yep.
And I just can't. It frees him up to do just ridiculous things and keep going. You keep going because I think Biadasz we know is also. We got 2 tackles and a center right now that we know damn well for sure, and a right guard. But he is coming. He's on the mend. So
talking about Laramie Tunsil and the addition of him and the way it impacts the line, I kind of wanted to do like the moves within the moves. The moves within the moves. So like little things that make that have stood out to me that are kind of like next level thinking things through, front office type stuff. For example, we talked about it back in January and the use of guaranteed money. How do you use guaranteed money to your advantage? Because we know in the NFL it's definitely a thing now. It's not always it's how much of the contract is guaranteed. Obviously, there's been fully guaranteed contracts now, big ones. And the usage
D. Watts.
Huge guaranteed contract, the biggest guaranteed contracts. But the NFL hasn't. It's not all guaranteed. So it is the use of guaranteed money, and how are we going to use it? Like, what was Josh Harris and Adam Peters' plan with guaranteed money? Especially given how much space we had this offseason, there was a universe that existed that would have seen us just lock up, money to get whoever they wanted. So you trade for Deebo Samuel, and the move within the move there was just guaranteeing him his money, which wasn't guaranteed to him already. If he woke up tomorrow and couldn't play that next year, he wouldn't get any of his money. So it's a strategic use of guaranteed money. They didn't sign him to a long-term deal. But they said, "Hey, listen, man. You have $19 million here. We're just gonna write you that check now." And then it was a beautiful way to incentivize a player. It was a beautiful way to respect a veteran. There's a relationship between Peters and Samuel, and also, hey, listen, we traded for you. And it's not like we signed you as a free agent to a 10-year deal. You weren't available like that. We gave up assets, but here's all your money.
Earlier, you requested I call you a romantic.
Yes.
And I will now because it's exactly what it is. We are romancing the rest of the league. We are showing the NFL who we are now. This is a quality franchise. You come here to get a ring. You don't come here to get a paycheck. Our checks cash services days are over. All the local franchises are done, and they're on that boat with the guy kicking his legs that can't reach the floor. Those days are done. Now what we're doing, we're showing the NFL that we know how to play big boy ball. Doing stuff like that shows veterans around the league, shows people that we give a shit. Says to everyone, look what they just did. They got a left tackle, a tight end, and and brought in a weapon to free up Terry McLaurin for the Jaden Daniels. Of course we did. But defense is where we need to shine. We're not done yet. We said let's be
That's right.
patient with the offseason. We're not finished yet. But what we did right there, what you're talking about specifically, and what we're about to do with Terry McLaurin, I do believe at some point, LT, is treat the right people the right way. You get a premier player at a premier position, you take a chance and you give up some draft capital, well, you better scoop that guy up and coddle him and treat him properly. We're doing everything on we're great hosts now. We're not just a place to get a big old bag of money and just, on the streets wonder who's going to come for you. No, now you can relax, kick back, and improve at your craft and be a part of a team. Guess who else wants to sign up and come here? Everyone else that is a superstar but wants to wake up at the crack of dawn and work like a working man. Like
around
JD5.
other people who do the same.
Exactly. Like Jaden Daniels just set that example. Well, there's a shit ton of other guys that have been doing that. They just talk about when the quarterback does it, especially when he's a phenom rookie. Yep. So that's the culture that's been set right there. And it's by these same gentlemen we're talking about. Is Adam Peters. You listen to him talk, he tells the truth. I love him and his interviews. I love him.
Another move within the movie, talk about extension for LT. So I like that we haven't extended him already. I talked about this already. I think we all agree, the guy's not only playing 2 more years.
Let's figure it out.
But I like the idea that, so to me, it's twofold. One, if I'm Adam Peters and Josh Harris, if I know them like I think I do, they're probably saying, hey, listen, our next the next money out of our Brink's truck, it's going to Terry McLaurin. Like we're not going to re-sign a guy who's been here for 2 seconds before we give our guy the money. So I think that's the class side of the organization. But on the other side of things,
very good point.
I also say that you don't, as good as Laramie Tunsil has shown to be in this league, he's only been here for I don't know that he wants to be here. We're at the point now, and I'm sure he does, and he will be. But you come in when you're not just driving driving in overnight and show up at park and you get a 5-year extension, not because he doesn't have to prove anything on the field. All that has to happen is he has to be here for a second, move in, be a good neighbor, be a good teammate, be a good coworker, exist, embrace, and decide that he wants to be here. Because if he brings his talent here and decides that he loves it, that's the guy you give the extension to. And I think that, and we that's not how we operated the last 20 years. The last 20 years we operated, if we got our hands on Laramie Tunsil, he got a 6-year extension on the spot and the guarantees were outrageous. That's how we did business. And so I love, listen, Laramie, love you. Obviously you're top tackle in this league. You make us better in so many ways. Just take a deep breath. Obviously
he's going to be fine.
Yeah,
plus he's gotten some money, and he's a 10-year dude.
He is not looking like I said, he doesn't have to prove anything on the field.
He wants this thing.
Yes, we don't need him. We don't need to see him play left tackle to decide whether or not we're going to give him an extension.
He had his gas mask years. He got that out of his system. It's a good thing in hindsight.
Bring it back.
He became a team captain. I'm sorry, but it's not about if you fall down, you're going to fail. You will fail. Get your ass up. Not just life. Talking about this ridiculous league. You play in this league, you're going to get your ass whipped. Get up.
That's right.
Get up. That's it. So it'll be fun to see him and how he treats his locker room. And so far, he's already said, man, this place is great. I'd be Jaden Daniels backup. Anything. I'm here 10, man. I'm not here to cause a ruckus. I'm here to win.
Yep.
And all these guys are being set up for hungry success in these 1-year contracts and these prove-it deals and these guys. It's so thrilling because we saw what happened every Sunday last year, man. We got the most unbelievable effort out of our entire franchise from top to bottom every freaking week. We were win or lose. There was never a shitstorm. All we've been is a 20-year shitstorm. It was such a beautiful time. So let's believe in these guys that they're picking the right dudes and doing the right things. I mean, damn, I'm not sure why we would have any other perspective aside from just, innate hatred of something amazing, which we know is
we love it.
Yeah, there's a ton of people that do.
We're gonna get to so I think if and when you see us extend Terry McLaurin, then I think you can assume that they're going to turn their attention to Tunsil at some point.
Yeah, the language was beautiful this weekend. The conversations, it's just so cool to do it that way. Oh no, Terry, we want you here forever.
Yeah, and I don't, and he's not. Well, listen. the receiver. What year was it? It was the year we signed Curtis Samuel. So that was like what 3 years ago.
Oh, dude.
It was roughly 3
guys
years
like
ago.
Curtis Samuel. I know it was, but
No. We
also
got him
been
for.
I know
We got him for $10 million a year, 3 years, 30.
3 years for $30 million. I
Yeah.
remember that.
And at that exact moment, if you guys
Did
remember,
he break his ass early and often?
well, no, but all I'm saying, and we love it. We're like, oh, we're getting a guy.
He's a tough ass. He just couldn't stay healthy.
But that offseason, right after that, the wide receiver market went to $20 million. I think that's when Debo signed his extension in San Francisco. I think a lot of those guys were getting DJ Moore, a lot of Stephon Diggs.
They're both 19 guys, yeah.
They went all the way
Debo
up and
and Terry, right?
over 20. So that was when the market became over 20. Then it was after that we gave Terry his roughly 20. And so now the market is approaching 30 plus for Jamar Chase and some of these guys, T. Higgins. The cool thing about Terry McLaurin, I think he's going to be like Tom Brady a little bit. I think he's going to get. We're not going to underpay him. I mean, I'm not saying
no.
Not using the word total discount, but I think team friendly
champion discount.
Yeah,
what San Fran was trying to do for the last 5 years with the same guy pulling the strings.
I mean, a guy like Terry
cool.
McLaurin,
No, I mean,
how old is he? 27, 26, 27?
Who, Terry?
Yeah.
You ask this all the time.
He
will play at 30 this year.
30.
He's 29 right now. I believe it's either August or September. He will play this year at age 30, and I believe he gets a 4-year extension for $120 million, Ken.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, I think it is too.
Because again,
the guaranteed money is what matters. So that's a neat thing to say. Oh, he'll get $30 million a year for 4 more years. But also on top of this year or inclusive of this year? Because
they'll add it on.
I know.
They'll add it on.
So,
and
so that means he plays till he's 34? Yeah, fine. I don't give a shit. That guy's gold.
He'll
keep him around everyone. Let him rub off on everyone. Yes. Let him talk and lead and be Terry McLaurin.
I mean, guys like De'Ami Brown are getting $10 million to play. There's the market for that journeyman transfer portal wide receiver right now is $10 to $15 million. The idea that Terry McLaurin at 25 to 30 or whatever you want to lock him in at in 4 years is going to be any kind of a discount. I mean, anything but a discount. I mean, it's going to look good. He's the guy that makes as his career goes on, he makes the number look good.
Let me ask both of you. How do you quantify the rate, Derek and Ken, and also let's buy that guy's jersey because kids, we want you to be just like him for the first time in forever. And I think we got a couple guys like that. And in fact, I think we got a shit ton, but that's been our guy. Now, but seriously, how do you quantify that number? And this front office understands that, obviously. But his play, we don't have to worry. That's not the worry.
Is he the greatest 17? Well, does he have to win a Super Bowl to be the greatest 17 of all time?
No, I love Doug Williams, and in one game he captured our hearts.
Yep.
What Terry has done is different. It's
over Jason Campbell.
Yes,
Terry over Jason Campbell.
I'm sorry,
Terry over.
He re-signed with no reason to re-sign here, and it wasn't for a shit ton of money. It was for market rate and not like top 5. He just got his. That's it. He's adoration. I'm just throwing that one out there, and he is that guy of ours. He is synonymous with the burgundy and gold as we speak, standing right next to JD5, no doubt about it. Let's get a couple more of those cats in here.
I love the idea of this is a perfect example of, to me, like how you use guaranteed money. So when you sign like the best players in the league, like the top 10 guys or whatever, the best player on the team, the generational quarterback, the Jamar Chases, the Micah Parsons, when you sign that guy and you make him like the next greatest, highest paid, whatever. Those deals, are such huge, $200, $300 million deals, and they'll be like, okay, 180 of which is guaranteed. But then you have the Kirk Cousins 3-year, $100 million guaranteed. You have the Watsons that guaranteed. You have, I think, when you have a guy that already, like you're not like taking a chance on Terry McLaurin. You could there, and I know the union, the Player Association and the union does this, and they'll say, hey, listen, you're 30 years old, like here's the last 150 30-plus-year-old wide receivers. This is how much money they made after that point in their career. This is what they're you know what I mean? Like, they get it all in, and they can say
on the ink, right?
Yeah, and then Redskins can say, hey, listen, instead of saying, we can just be like, hey, listen, I'll just guarantee you, 50% more than that. So I'll say, hey, play here till you're 35. We'll sign a 5-year deal. I'll guarantee you 20. I'll give you $20 million a year guaranteed. Here's a check for $100 million, no matter what happens. I don't see us being the team that does those kinds of things, but to me, like those are the kinds of things that make sense. That like $20 million to lock in one of your best guys.
I don't get it. Really, here's when it works. I think when a team like you guys have, you're coming and leave a legacy, right? And hopefully win a Super Bowl, and a guy you know and you trust, and you can give him the deal, and you can rely on him. Does it ever work out when you see these guys take big guaranteed deals at horrible teams? Like it doesn't even make any sense.
Individually, yes.
Yes, I was going to say Kirk Cousins would say it works out great.
I know, and I guess it's sell tickets, put people in the seats, and you got to stay relevant. But I don't know if it's ever worked out for either party. Like I'm going back in my head and thinking
not for a ring.
No.
Yeah, it's just
to pack the seats and make it a good experience on Sunday.
Sure.
Right.
If you're paying, if you have to pay for it, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? If you have to pay for it.
That's a great point. Yeah,
on the other side of the coin that I'm arguing, there is the whole argument was,
aside from the salary cap,
like that's how you end up with guys like Albert Hainsworth and Adam Archuleta on your team, and you just decide to throw. So I get it. To me, the usage of guaranteed money with Deebo Samuel was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have long-term consequences. It has awesome short-term consequences for everyone, including the player.
We're great hosts here in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
We'll take care of you.
Long-term guaranteed contracts, I would say I'm like 99.99% against. I think the exception is if you have like a face of your franchise type
number
guy.
5.
Yeah, a J. No, I mean to that extent, depending on what the number is, a guy like Terry McLaurin, because you can do anything with him, and also
left tackle, maybe a corner. It's the premier positions, the premier spots.
That's right. And
that we just took care of.
Just an absolute model of dependability, and professionalism at such an important position. I mean, the thing about Terry McLaurin, I think that we'll talk about a lot, because anytime you start talking about contracts, no matter who a team signs, it gets just absolutely dissected and beaten up, and and everyone's going to be like, well, is he really like, why, and we're going to have the worst conversations by talking heads ever about Terry McLaurin not being Jamar Chase, not being Justin Jefferson, all this other stuff. If you look back to the beginning of the season when when Jaden Daniels was still, for the most part in the NFL, making his bones, trying to figure things out, the ball wasn't getting to Terry McLaurin. They were putting the microphone in Terry's face right away after games. It's not like we were great at the beginning of the season, and our offense wasn't clicking on all cylinders at the beginning of the season. When Terry McLaurin, I mean, he didn't say shit. He wasn't. He said we got.
He was being fed shit.
Yeah, he was. They were leading him on. They were the
you
leading
think
questions.
Kingsbury's a hot steamy pile of shit because you've only had 6.
What's going on? Does Cliff Kingsbury, is he not understand that you I mean, and he not only did he not say shit, but he also was like, how am I going to call myself a team leader and think shit like that? And everyone was like, whoa. I mean, that's basically what he said, in so many words. And so much of this, the reason for the success that we had offensively and the coming alongness of Jaden Daniels, to match, was because
that primetime TD catch in Cincy.
Yes.
When that whole week, that whole week, Ken, you brought that up that week, and we all talked about it. And we were like, how cool is that? And he somehow, watch it again. How the shit, if you watch that catch, that's a top 10 catch in the league last year, dude. And that was kind of like those two saying like, here we are. We're here.
We are, and that was it. We are here. The thing you can have, I will say it would be fair for fans in the division or fans in the league to if Jaden Daniels was not our quarterback in 24, for people to be like, all right, Terry, sure, he'll be in the league for 12, 13 years. Sure, he's going to bounce around. He's going to have like 4 2-year deals and a couple of 1-year deals, and he's just going to be a professional receiver because that's kind of what he is. I would have been like, okay, like you never have an awesome quarterback wide receiver duo until you have both the quarterback and the wide receiver. And the cool thing about what happened this year is Terry McLaurin, who's kind of like spinning, right off the plate into space right away from us, being like, we're going to lose that guy because we're not giving him any consistency under center. And now all of a sudden he finds himself in an offense with arguably one of the better quarterbacks who's come into the league in recent years. And now he is part of a quarterback wide receiver duo, the likes of which every wide receiver that's worth their chops wants to be a part of.
And shockingly, as the season evolved, he's part of a quarterback tight end duo. Because Mr. Zach Ertz, with his 12 years in the league, it's crazy how these experienced veterans know where to be, know how to time it up, and are always in the right spots. And why would you surround a rookie quarterback with guys like that? I don't know. Because we've just surrounded our guys with, what do we say, over 200 years of experience on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. Specifically on the line.
2+
lines.
Exactly. Why are we doing all these things? Well, because we're not stupid anymore. We're done. We've grown up. They no more throwing stuff at us anymore. We're done.
Can I just
throw the flaming bag of shit on someone else's house?
Can I just say,
sorry, Derek,
that this week, sorry,
no.
He put shit on my house.
The Jets. Trust me. Yeah. If I'm walking into your neighborhood up in New York, I'm throwing a flaming bag of shit off the green and white first and foremost.
You shit on my house.
You shit. You shit my house.
You shit on my house.
You shit on my. Shout out to you. It's his favorite line.
All I can think of is you shit on my house now.
Well, when I watched it with T, he laughed so hard at that I hope right now he's also.
I'm sure that he is
so hard
you
because
shit on my house.
When I throw a flaming bag of shit on his house tonight on the ride home, it's not going to be as funny tomorrow. and you can't hit delete on old school 80s shit.
No,
you have fun these days. You hit delete in the morning. Everything's fine. There's no way to go back after that. You lit it.
There's no way.
All right. Well, I mean, you actually grabbed a bag. Never mind. Sorry.
Again, I had just an absolute mediocre point to make, and I totally forgot it. All I can think of is "Can't Buy Me Love." By the way, it's the second "Can't Buy Me Love" reference that's happened for me today, which is taking me further away from anywhere I was when we were talking about this.
Shout out Jack Tier, dropped me, Keegan, and John off and said, "You got no money? Deal with it. Figure it out." And we did.
I remember what it was. We talked about the addition of line experience. So this week, I got super into the idea of and like the beginning of the era of Dietrich Wise. So I watched a bunch of.
I told you.
I know. I watched him. I watched a bunch of the tape. I watched all kinds of stuff. I looked at him, and boy. I thought to myself, tried to imagine him in a Skins jersey. Is he? Do we know? Is he not? Is he wearing 91?
I have no idea what number he's wearing.
I want to know what number he's wearing because it does matter. Thank you, Derek. His addition toward I didn't see it coming. I think that this might be, and it's here we are on April 1st, and this is not an April Fool's joke.
Nope.
I think he might end up being like the biggest defensive signing.
I think he
might actually.
He reminds me a shit ton of a handful of the guys that we got last year, specifically our safety, a guy that can come in here and a leader. But this isn't a 9-year dude that's been a captain for a majority of those years. That he only talked about leadership. All he talked about was leadership. Haffy. All right, irregular.
Yeah, we're closing out. Greg, line us up with
all he talked about was leadership.
Take us out on our draft.
Leadership, his own.
Yep.
His style. How he wanted to be a part of a group of leaders.
Yeah.
Of a team of leaders. How he wouldn't have come here, but when he heard it, this was Dietrich, and it is with a.
It's Dietrich. That's a Dietrich. Like Lena. Dietrich.
We just need a ha-ha.
It might be the biggest
for the end
signing.
of the pass rusher. Who's the ha-ha? Ha-ha Clinton Dix would really. We can do it. Is he any good anymore? Is he available for a sandwich?
First of all, he's 100% available.
Because we can just do this in the preseason once. We'll leave everyone alone.
I watch him. I love listen, he's not we're not calling him he's not Reggie White.
No.
But I think what he'll do for us and take advantage of by virtue of the other guys on the field. I'm thinking to myself, I think we're going to hear his name called a lot.
He doesn't have to leave the field. 6'5", 280. He sets an edge and can rush the passer.
Yes. He's a big boy.
Yeah.
He solves our number one priority of the offseason.
Stop, run.
That's all. That's our
Stop the
whole
run.
job this entire offseason. Stop the run. We added a 6'5", 280 guy who is the captain, who does reach back and has played on some championship teams, I believe. And
All right, you're gonna have to read this one out loud.
Okay.
We're gonna have to get to this one, Derek.
all right, so Derek, pay
Bring
attention.
it.
Greg is suggesting that we draft a team of fictional characters that will help us plan and execute at the ultimate April Fool's prank. 6 rounds plus a bonus 7th round. And the board votes on the winner. All right, so we're going to get...
Greg wants in on it. Now he deserves it. I vote he deserves it.
He already has his big board set up. He's in.
Yeah.
All right, well, so you have a big board set up, but we didn't know about this ahead of time, so you pick 4th. He picks 4th. I will randomly...
This is
I'll
difficult.
randomly give Greg the first pick in a round. I get to decide when. Because I love that he set up a board. All right, so that's the nature of our
draft team of fictional characters that will help you plan and execute the ultimate April Fool's prank.
Mhm.
All right.
Oh wait, so we're just drafting. This isn't. I'm so used to him giving us like.
This is.
All right, so we're doing a snake draft. Okay, so then Greg will come up when he comes up.
He agrees.
Yep. So, all right. So, Kevin, we're gonna start this. We're gonna go left to right. 1, 2, 3, 4 is Greg Martin.
I know,
and
but
then
how
we'll
do I
snake it
get the
back.
first pick?
Because I don't know what's going on. But let me just, while you're thinking about that, let me just close out my my commander's thoughts with regard to Dietrich Wise. I've been excited about Kinlaw. I've been excited about some of the guys we brought. I've been excited about Will Harris. I'm excited about our guys that we brought back. I'm excited about Jonathan Jones in the sense that I think these are professional football players who are going to I think hopefully better than Michael Davis, and I think that they are.
Well, I think they are too, because that made Adam Peters human.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
At least I know that he's not part of the V.
Yeah,
He's not V.
I take it. I was.
He doesn't eat rats.
He does not eat rats. No, Diana. He's not. He doesn't report to Diana.
No.
So but when I think about Dietrich Wise, and I don't want to oversell it here in April, but I do think that's the guy that I'm starting to think might be the guy that stirs the Kool-Aid for us on the defensive line in a meaningful way in 2025. I think he's pretty freaking good. I mean, I don't know. I think he's like a really good. Like, I just think that like it's so hard. Like, every team wants to. First of all, every team wants to draft defensive linemen. There's 24 starting defensive linemen in this draft. Every team wants those guys. Every team wants to get the right. I mean, it's so hard.
I have 2 seconds, guys. Gather around. Dietrich and Laramie are gonna run a little drill. If anyone has any questions, go ask Dietrich and Laramie,
Mm-hmm.
the 2 new guys that have been decade-long starters in this league, in the trenches, rushing the passer and defending the number 1 spot. Like, it all comes from there. Then we can figure the rest out.
All right, so Greg's going to give us next week's topic so that we can prepare our boards for next week. And before we start the draft, again, you're on the clock, but before we start the draft, I do want to give Derek, since we changed the rules about overtime, everyone gets free up. I want to give you fair ups. Now, I'm not trying to pick your scab or ask you, about how's your house on fire, situation, but I will ask, are you excited about your first round pick? And is there somebody that you really, really want for it? That's exciting.
I think I'm more excited about the April Fool's draft.
Okay. I love it. No, that's fair.
No, you know what I'm excited about? Jameis. The guy just gets me excited. If it was me, let's just throw Jameis out there and go crazy.
That's what I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, let's just have fun.
We love Jameis. Jameis has ingratiated himself into the collective It's a
I don't
society's
know.
heart.
You talk about your receivers. I don't know if we got. I don't know if we got the guys for Jameis.
You got the guy.
but it's it's. I would like to just have fun with it. Let him go. Just go. But I don't think that's going to be the.
So last week we talked about your quarterback room. I mean, your quarterback room, Jameis, Russell, and Danny DeVito. That's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough one.
You think those guys are going to be going out for steaks together?
Listen, we did Jeff George and Rob Johnson one year. Okay, we did Tony Banks and Jason Campbell. 1 year. We've done Shane Matthews and Danny Werfel 1 year. Our quarterback room, and I mean, again,
let Jameis eat.
We named John Beck our starter. Is it John Beck? What's John Beck, right? John Beck. We named John Beck our starter in April.
He started one game.
The opener, or I mean, maybe
it was not the opener.
It was the ending.
The season ticket holders would have revolted.
But I think it was Mike Shanahan.
It was.
He was like,
specifically,
fuck it. John Beck's our starter. He's a guy.
I need to get the fuck out of here.
And like
I already got my money.
The next day, like John Beck's on the radio, the morning drive-in, and they're like, "Hey, we're on live with the starting quarterback for the Washington Redskins, John Beck," and everyone's like, "Wait, I thought that was a joke. Is this for real?" So, trust me, nobody knows about your quarterback. But the only thing about your quarterback room that's different than our quarterback room is we never had except for Jeff George. I would say Jeff George was the closest thing we had to a Jameis. Just an absolute gunslinger. But everyone in the world would rather have Jameis Winston than Jeff George, I think. Right?
I mean, from a fan perspective,
you have to.
You have to.
Well, right now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go back and say that Danger Russ didn't have a better career.
I'm talking about Jeff George versus Jameis Winston.
Oh.
They're both.
I got Jameis all day.
The livest arms, two of the livest arms out there.
But also, Jameis all day. I cannot stand Jeff George at any level. I don't want him to be my darts teammate, but I imagine he'd be great at it. But probably too drunk, and ruin the game. So I'm all Jameis.
We chased Brad Johnson out of here for Jeff George, Rob Johnson quarterback room, just so we're clear. So, anyways, Jameis Winston is a fun.
That was a terrible Johnson swap. Aren't they always?
I am, as a Redskins fan, and you'll respect this, I love the idea of having no real plan there necessarily at the moment for a divisional rival. I as much as I would see, because I would rather face Russell Wilson than Jameis Winston twice a year, just because Russell Wilson has destroyed us. I mean, he has our number. He just beat us this past year. I mean, Russell Wilson is not a guy who I would necessarily want to play. So I would definitely want Jameis over Russell, because Wilson has eaten us up.
With Jameis, you're gonna
a chance.
You're gonna win 49-48, and Jameis ends it with his fourth pick. Right,
and he's gonna just.
But everybody had fun,
and they're gonna eat that W. And then we're gonna go to Publix. There's so much fun to have with Jameis, but you know what? I'm all right with him.
Yeah, I'm okay with him as well. So, anyways, all right.
If you made it this on, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, do they have so by virtue of, because the other thing we're talking about is about tanking for Arch Manning. Do you ride the whatever you want to call that quarterback room scenario for the season, or do you think they're going to be dared into drafting like a Shedeur Sanders or something, or something like that? They're number 2, right? They're number 2 overall.
Are they
number 2? No, they're not number 2.
As long as they don't do that, I'm very happy. I know you like Shedeur Sanders.
I like him for you. I like him for you.
I don't. I'm actually very happy now, because maybe that's not going to happen.
Okay.
And that to me is one of the best scenarios, right? So I'm super happy about that. I'm not big on, you saw in the Hard Knocks offseason, Giants, they weren't big on QBs, but I'm not big on, unless you have a, Peyton Manning, Jaden Daniels, right? Yeah. And if you don't know, just forget it, right? Don't tank,
don't Daniel Jones this whole scenario.
No, exactly, right? And I don't know. I think it's I don't know how these teams are so awful at it, right? But these reaching for some of these quarterbacks, it can ruin you. So no, I'm not a fan of that, right? And I don't know if we've all seen enough of Sanders in different environments to just say, yeah, it's got to be the guy. It's not like he's playing at LSU against defenses like that every week, right?
No,
So
I agree.
I think that the coolest thing about for you say you think that Russ, Jameis, and Danny DeVito is enough to chase off the idea of Shooter Sanders. We were in the same situation. I want to say it was 2009, and we were entering a draft where a certain someone named Mark Sanchez was available, and he was a big, kind of a big deal. And
I thought we had an agreement.
no, I'm saying we avoided the Mark Sanchez disaster. The Jets
For
took
as
him
long as we could.
for as long as we could.
We always knew that those two dumpster fires were going to be magnetized towards each other
He
from different coasts, opposite coasts in this country for a gigantic collision. The day that Ken, myself, and my son arrived. Holy shit. Why?
We decided
Why?
that Todd Collins and Jason Campbell were good enough to get us through without Mark Sanchez. So I think that you are the
Just
idea
a
that
little Todd C and JC in our lives is all we needed.
we're like, hey, you know what? We're gonna let the Jets. We ended up taking Arakpo in the first round. So you have Russ and JMO, and you're like, you know what? That should save you but the other thing is, what's his face, which would really make me upset is could fall right to you, Travis Hunter, right? That's the scuttlebutt on the street.
yeah, it sounds much better. What's crazy about Sanchez? Didn't he beat Peyton Manning on the road in the playoffs?
With Parcells.
Sir. You cannot say a quarter. They'd never played one play against each other.
That defense was sick.
They did though, right?
So they had Curtis Martin, but so
Sanchez has 4 playoff dubs. He's got more playoff wins than a majority of the best players at quarterback in the league this year.
The only reason I talk about it is it's like you always remember your bad gambling beats. That was one for me. I said, I will always bet against Sanchez. Always, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and on Peyton.
Yeah, it was the best defense. It was the best. It was. It was the best game.
Aaron Glenn was on that defense, I believe.
And they were just like, don't let your freaking maxi pad fall out. And Sanchez didn't. He did it.
That's right.
He did it.
They ran Curtis Martin like a beast.
He cinched that belt.
No, I said Bill Parcells. It wasn't. It was Rex Ryan.
It was Rex. It was Rexy. He's the only one with balls enough to start Sanchez and be like, you know how good my defense is? Do you know how good with my brother Rob over there and us? You know it. And he loved having Sanchez. It made him the best D coordinator in the effing world.
Was it Wayne Krebet? Who was there? They had some.
Not that.
Brandon Marshall, but I think he was gone by then, or he wasn't there yet. Who was a big wide receiver?
I think it was Marshall who made the game-winning catch, and the catch was insane. Like 40-inch vertical catch to end the game. I think it was Brandon Marshall.
I love him.
I think
he was a freak, I've seen him win a game, and I think that's the one he just talked about.
Yep. I think Brandon Marshall.
It was Sanchez, just a high ball. Only he could get it. Got up, and I think that was the game clincher. And
I want to do a 30-minute podcast on Sanchez. He was my cousin's starting quarterback, and my cousin's not only from first grade through. My uncle coached him from first to 8th grade. Then he was in the starter in high school at the school we just called it St. John's, not modern day, but we did it like 3 years ago. My cousin came in and called. Then the dad was
basketball or football?
Football. The dad was such a nut job. He got ejected from the semifinals. He showed up the same game, and his buddy from across the street put him in a wheelchair. They taped shit on his head, and then the cop was like, "Get out of here, dude!" Like he was.
Wait,
I'm gonna cry.
From the New York team?
No, we beat the crap out of St. John's. Won by like 30. They had red and what? I can't do it. I can't pull it.
Not Friendship.
No, they're from California. They came to St. John's. It's not modern day. All right, let's do this thing.
Not Trinity. Not.
They have like 3 dudes in the NFL, and I did the whole thing on Josh Johnson. That was his college quarterback in San Diego.
Oh yes, God.
Mark Sanchez. Mark Sanchez was the starting quarterback for, and that was the school. And and my cousin started there for 4
High
years.
school?
Played for Harbaugh at San Diego
California.
for 3 years.
Greg's gonna get it. Greg's gonna get it.
No, we should. It's embarrassing that we're not getting it, and I'm not touching it. We called the damn game. My cousin went there. Mark Sanchez was the starting quarterback for my cousin there for 4 years, and then Josh Johnson was the starting quarterback at San Diego when he started there for Harbaugh for 3 years.
Mission Viejo. Ken Harris got it.
Mark Sanchez's dad wore like a pseudo outfit after being ejected.
Mission
and he came
Viejo.
back with his buddy's wheelchair, and they like taped they did like gauze around him, like the old school like the
Nordberg?
Yes.
So Nordberged him.
27-1. Did they tout this up here as the first bullet point? 27-1 record during his final 2 seasons. Is this the one?
Mission Viejo.
Was this
Patrick
the one
O'Neal
loss?
got a scholarship and went and played for Harbaugh at San Diego, and Josh Johnson was the quarterback that day. The day we went to that game, Mark Sanchez started, and I was like, we're not going in. Go midway through the first quarter because I cannot show my son. And Josh Johnson took over for him.
Yes,
I
he
called
did.
my cousin. I was like,
Best.
your high school quarterback and your college quarterback suck.
Well, because Mark Sanchez, he had this like scarf that was on, and it matched the little purse he
The
was carrying,
tiny
his
dog.
Chihuahua.
Wasn't there a Chihuahua?
Good
Yes.
Wait,
Dude,
when
he
did
was
that
wearing?
happen?
It was like no socks,
Oh,
and I mean,
it
it was
was-
all
it
kinds.
was-
I don't know what was going
And
on.
then he broadcast
High
playoff
school?
games. No,
No,
this
when he
was
played
here.
for the
This was in
Redskins.
Landover.
or the
I was
football
like,
team, or
is that-
whatever the hell we were
They're
called
about to
at the time.
take his shoes, coat, hat, and jacket. He has no idea. They're going to leave that dog, though. He can't even eat it. Let's go. Let's go.
First
Let's go.
overall pick of the draft, in which we will draft fictional characters to help us plan and execute the ultimate April Fool's Day prank. Who's up first off the board?
The ultimate April Fool's Day prank. First overall pick for me, Johnny Knoxville.
All right.
Oh, wow. Great pick.
Yeah, no, he's ideal. He's in the green room.
I only have 5 names written down, so be easy on me, boys.
I am gonna go with James Bond. James Bond is gonna be at the crux of any. Listen.
Can you at least pick a Bond?
All right, I'll pick. I'm gonna go with. You know what? I'm gonna go
Get the hottest one.
Daniel Craig.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Well,
I didn't mean to say it that fast after you said that.
I went the opposite direction. But to me, my clear first pick is Bart Simpson.
Oh, okay. So I was deciding
Bart
between Bart
Simpson.
Simpson and James Bond. By the way, that's awesome because I thought he might come back to me. All right, so that leaves Greg. Greg's up, and he is. Wait, who's not fictional? Oh, Johnny Knoxville's not fictional, but we're gonna. allow it.
Oh, sorry.
We're gonna allow it.
No,
He was
but
the
you
first
know,
overall
no,
pick.
that's
no.
not-
It's done. It's in. Greg's up, and then it's gonna come back to you.
How about if he was in character for the show?
Yeah,
We just say
jackass.
that
We'll
because
say
I don't
call
want to
him
ruin it.
Yeah, Johnny Knoxville. That's what he does.
Shit,
and
that was my next pick. Damn
Kevin
it.
McAllister. Okay,
Yes.
now that is a very good.
I have Macaulay Culkin written
That's
down. but
great.
That's what I wanted. Yes.
So you have to remember, we're going fictional.
I know because I
Macaulay
don't
Culkin's-
understand I don't understand the terminology.
Understood. No. It's. I blame Greg. All right. So Kevin McAllister, who is just. I mean, his exploits are well known.
Oh, it's a
Back
great
to
pick.
me,
Yeah. Back to you,
Dr. Evil from Austin Powers.
Dr. Evil. So, like, what kind of prank are you doing where you need this kind of like you're going down a bad road? I mean, between Bart and Dr. Evil, someone's dying.
I've got more picks that are going to bring it together for you.
Okay.
Right? But without these core guys,
Yeah.
nothing's going to happen.
All right, you
have to have skill players.
These are this is the talent.
Yeah,
These
skill
are-
players.
All right,
Quarterback.
So I got Knoxville. You went Craig Bond, CB.
Yeah, Craig Bond.
All right, Bart
He went Bart.
and
Kevin McAllister.
oh man,
And then came back to Greg with Dr. Evil.
Greg went K-Mac. Shouldn't Greg? We're not snaking it, so it's just back. To,
Oh no, I'm sorry. We are snaking
yeah,
it.
it's Greg's next pick.
Greg gets to go too.
Right,
Greg gets
right. That's
so
why, that's why
technically Dr. Evil is available. Should be a great pick. I always love that. So he goes back to back. So then that gives me a chance. Oh wait, You might have stolen his. He said somebody stole his.
Was it Mark Sanchez?
It might have been Mark Sanchez. Wait, Mark
What
Sanchez?
a terrible thing to steal. It would have been readily available. Oh, there you go. Greg Martin just went Cartman.
Okay, so man, we're really. I mean, that's
The first pick of the second round.
yep.
All right.
And then the second pick went to Greg. He was Dr. Evil. And then I shall select. So I have.
No, wait.
No?
What am I missing here?
We went Johnny Knoxville,
Thanks, guys.
James Bond,
Mm-hmm.
Bart Simpson, Kevin McAllister.
Got K Mac. Now what? So
Now
then
we went- then
Kevin Mac.
Cartman.
And who followed up with K Mac?
Well,
There's no Bart.
Cartman. Greg Martin then went
Cart.
Yeah,
Cart.
Eric
So-
Cartman from
So
South
who's
Park.
up now?
Then it went to Greg.
And he
Comes
got.
back and he got Dr. Evil. That
That's
was
not Greg.
I mean Derek.
Snake
You've been
back to
saying
me.
that
Snake
over and
back to
over.
me. I screwed
That's
it up.
Derek.
I screwed it up.
I know, but I'm looking.
Yeah.
Cause I'm pointing over to that.
Now
like,
you're up.
and
I went
and
out
now
of
I'm
turn.
up. Yeah.
All right. I was just making sure.
So, I feel like we've got to. Now I have my straight man, a guy who I know is going to get it done in terms of. But I now I need somebody who can you have to have someone who can run the the long game and really sell it. Damn it. And I don't have a deep. My board is not set, so I'm struggling. But I'll say
I don't
this:
have shit.
I know who I want to go into an operation with, and I'm just gonna throw out my guy Han Solo. I think Han Solo is the kind of guy you want involved in any kind of operation you run. So I'm picking him.
Is it Hans Olo? It's the way you said it.
Han Solo.
He didn't seem. Okay.
Give me a hand. He's one of my all-time favorite fictional characters, and I feel like if I'm going to be involved in some kind of a caper, he should be at the crux of it. He's a freestyler, and I love that he is ready to. And he has he's. I'm not going to say he's like totally like morally casual, but I think that there's a lot of gray area for Han. I think he's willing. Whereas James Bond, I think he might be willing to step over the line. Han Solo, he's gonna fly the Millennium Falcon many parsecs over the line.
There's too many parsecs for
It's
me.
a lot of parsecs.
I'm trying to read I can't get to it because I'm on a.
Are you watching American Idol? What's going on?
No, I'm watching.
Are you voting on
I'm
American
looking for
Idol?
Greg's. I want to read. I can't. Apparently, what I wrote
You're
down.
downloading an
immediately-
app now.
These guys are definitely fictional characters
Yes.
in my mind.
Okay.
But I have to scratch them out because Vinny Serrato and Bruce Allen are not helping.
They're not helping.
But those are the first two names that popped in. I wrote them down. So just work with me.
I
real
wish
quick.
they were
Then I wrote
fictional.
Johnny, and I'm going to go with one of mine. One of mine is going to be effing. It's going to be Bugs Bunny. All right.
Oh, dude!
Oh, I love that. That's great.
All right, so right now,
That I knew, but I don't have a second. I like to go bang bang.
yeah, you are.
And,
It is you again. I mean, but dude, Bugs Bunny is a first round talent, and you
Yeah,
got him in the second round.
Bro,
So
he chewed a carrot and made everyone think he was smoking a cigar.
he dressed as a girl bunny, and
He
Elmer
got
Fudd
shot
got
in the face.
a boner and a half, just for the record.
What about Yosemite Sam's boner? It was way bigger. I don't know if you ever watched the internet. They do it in slow motion.
Yeah.
He's got Elmer Fudd covered, but area equals length times width times height.
Dude, I mean, this could be the run-on Looney Tunes characters. I mean, who knew that we were gonna get there, but we got there.
Well, how about if I just go Yosemite Sam?
Yosemite
I'm
Sam.
dumb.
All
I
right.
said it, and I shouldn't have just not
Bugs
said it.
and Yosemite are off the board, and I think you got some great ones. So I think, but by the way, this is where we really get into it. Now, this is going to be, this is going to be I don't know that everyone's going to be on board with this, but I'm going Rick Sanchez. Rick Sanchez is an absolute. Does anyone know who Rick Sanchez is?
Is his nickname Dirty?
His nickname is Dirty.
Yeah, of course.
I'm
I know
Rick
Rick.
Dirty Sanchez.
Rick from
the
right around
show-
the corner,
the
right by
show's-
Derek's house, but in between here.
Rick and Morty is one of my all-time favorite
Ooh,
shows,
yeah.
and Rick Sanchez is the
Mhm.
Rick,
Mhm.
and that's not the most like dark character I have because for me James Bond, and Han Solo. They're good guys. Rick's edgy. Because I got to compete with Bart and Dr. Evil over here.
Yeah, it's
who you
true.
going?
I'm starting to get into my brain trust now. Right.
These are your advisors.
These are the guys behind the guys, right? And
Okay.
the first guy behind the guy is Dennis Reynolds from It's Always Sunny. Dennis, he's just that's like the dark.
Yeah.
We need somebody thinking big. We need somebody doing big things. It's going to be Dennis from It's Always Sunny.
I was surprised he was the first character from there. I would have thought they would. I would have thought Frank or Charlie would have gone first, but Dennis, you're right. He's more of a puppeteer.
If Dennis heard you right now.
All right, Greg, you get to go 2, and you're going MacGyver. That's a good one. So MacGyver's number 1, and then you get to go one again after that. Greg said someone was on his list. Does that mean he's saying my guy was on his list?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm going like completely off, like no nothing. Oh, the Joker.
Damn it! That was exactly. I was like, what's the one I can't think of?
It's the Joker.
That's so obvious. That's the best one, and it is.
The Joker is the best one.
It is.
Just like
Shit.
Bond, though, I have to know which Joker.
You have 100%. It has to be which Joker.
The one I was thinking of. Sorry, go ahead.
No, well, Bugs Bunny was.
I was
on
thinking of the
Greg's
old
list.
one with Adam West, whatever that Joker was. I don't know how to say that, but that Joker stands out in my brain. That's
but the Jack Nicholson
I get it.
Joker.
I'm telling you, the first Joker, he's the best. But the first, you always remember your first.
You always remember your first Joker. I mean, what's his face? Who won the award, the Academy Award posthumously? Shit, why can't I think of his name? It wasn't Orlando Bloom.
Because it was posthumously.
It was posthumously.
Push.
Dang it!
You're once again going with the hottest Joker. You went with the hottest Bond. They are going hottest.
No,
Joker.
I went with Jack Nicholson. He's not the hottest Joker.
Oh, you okay?
But who was the one that was in the most recent Batman movies?
Don't make me ask this question.
It was also in
Brokeback Mountain.
Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. All right. Well, we're going Jack over Heath. He's going cartoon Joker. The cartoon Joker was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But Heath Ledger is the right answer. All right, so that comes back to you.
All right, now I got my real talent, like the my MacGyver, Doc Brown from Back to the Future.
Oh,
is
okay.
Doing.
You have to have that's your guts guy.
He's doing things.
That's my Rick. That's my Rick Sanchez is the guy who like the gadget guy. Has all the answers scientifically and mathematically and all that stuff. Doc Brown is a great. It's like your wheel guy, like your grease man.
Man.
In order to get to make it happen, you got to have somebody who's gonna wearing the gloves and steering the car.
I don't know what Bart's gonna do actually, but Doc Brown will get it done. Doc Brown.
They'll run.
Doc Brown already has he's not afraid to take a lightning strike.
Yeah.
All right, so I have James Bond and Han Solo, I believe. So, do I have anyone else?
I stopped writing it down. It got so confusing. I'm glad that you guys know. I'd just like to know whose turn it is.
It's my turn. It's my turn.
Yeah.
I need. Wait. So, how many people have you picked?
Somehow 4.
Yeah. How am I only on?
Because he doubled up. He's at the end.
I have Han Solo.
Oh no.
Oh no, I have 3 because Rick Sanchez is my third. Duh. All right. So I need now. What I need is somebody who can run interference. Someone who's going to draw eyeballs. You always have to have somebody who's going to be part of the plan, but they're not really part of the plan. They're just
you just
there
made me forget my 5 things I had written down
pull
because I'm now
you
thinking about
away.
I got it.
And so
I appreciate
clearly for me, that's Sydney Sweeney.
Wow. Okay.
So you bring in Sydney Sweeney and you say, "Listen, here's the deal.
Newly single.
You're gonna be Sydney Sweeney in this
Or
whole
you could
situation."
just punt opposite footed on 3rd down and 6.
All right. So by the way, I just broke the rules because that's not fictional. So
And And you just went for you started thinking with your
Yeah.
Johnson.
I'm good, but I got to pick a character, so I'm going to pick
Your Josh
the
Johnson.
Sydney. So I'll tell you what, I will pick the Sydney Sweeney character from what movie am I going to take it from? I'm
Oh
not sure.
God! Why don't you just get an original thought real quick so I can keep scrolling.
Keep scrolling. All right, so Sydney
No,
Sweeney is
I
not a
don't
fictional
scroll for
character.
anything. I don't want to play anymore.
All right, so I'm
No, I want to play. I don't want to play
Yeah,
this
yeah.
game.
Yeah.
I want to play this game, but it
All right.
keeps on coming up.
Okay, so
empty.
I'm gonna go with dang it, I'm not, because it has to be a fictional character, and it has to. I'm gonna go with what's her face? Here, I'm gonna go with Kelly Kapowski. That's a fictional character.
Got it.
And it accomplishes the same goal. This is gonna be a eye candy fake 'em out person, and Tiffany Thiessen, aka Kelly Kapowski. That's where I'm going. Sorry.
Is it my turn yet?
And now you get to go 2 times.
Yes. So give me Brian and Stewie. Just write them down, Ken, because I know you're gonna appreciate. Because if I have both
That's
of
a
them
great
on my side
That's a great character.
together, I can use both their experiences versus each other, and this is gonna work. And also, those are the only 2 names I had.
All right. So we're coming back through. That means I have to go again. Now I have Bond, and
You do.
so I have people who are at, but now I need somebody. Now I need an old school. Now I need someone to run the whole thing from behind the scenes. So I'm going to go Danny Ocean. Danny Ocean is going to run
Wow.
my
That's
whole
fair.
operation.
Like the whole time you were describing a MILF, and then you went Danny Ocean.
Danny Ocean.
I
Well, no,
appreciate
but
that
you
about
just you just took yourself out of having any chance at Sydney Sweeney once you.
I had to go. She's real. Wait a second, is that real? Did I do
Yeah,
that?
you just screwed
Damn
yourself.
it.
In fact,
All right.
legitimately.
All right, we're done. Danny Ocean is my guy. All right, you get to go.
Mine, or is
Yeah.
it to me?
Yeah.
I'm not having any fictional team without Walter from Big Lebowski. He can cook up a plan, just an unbeatable plan in seconds.
The
right? So,
ringer?
yeah, and so I need somebody who, if things get out of hand, Bart's not stepping up. Dennis certainly isn't stepping up. Doc Brown, he's too old. Walter, he's probably packing heat.
Not on Shomer Shabbos, obviously, but
Right.
when he rolls himself out of that car holding the Uzi, one of my all-time favorite scenes in cinematic history.
Yes.
All right. Here's what we're gonna do, Greg. You're gonna go, and then you're gonna lead us off in the final round. That's gonna be the 6th round. That is the bonus round, because the bonus round is gonna be the real life person. So finish this out with a fictional person, and then go real person.
I didn't read the rules.
Well, we never do. All right, so Greg gets to go 1 fictional, 1 human. So the next person is real
Got
person.
you.
Man, I have some serious. I mean, I have Harrison Ford and George Clooney.
I had
and Daniel Craig.
I had Indiana Jones, and
Yeah.
I didn't use him because I forgot to write him down. But I thought he'd have been great.
E.O. Anderson said the top hit. I'll put that up there because that's. I've seen it. I've seen this. I think I've seen a picture of this. Is it not true, E.O.? Have I seen a picture of you as Walter? I believe I have. I think I saw it. I think it was this past Halloween. The Invisible Man is the last fictional character for Greg. That's hey.
That's winning. That's called winning.
That's
time.
a straight
Dang.
W.
What that I feel
Yeah,
like I
that's,
just
that's
lost.
a great one. I know that was, but he knew he was going to kick us right in the invisible nuts.
All right, and
Yeah.
oh wait, so the wait, where are we at? Here we are.
EO agreed, and then we're pranking Dan Snyder. Is what
We're
Greg
playing.
read.
Okay, so he's that's his
Oh,
target.
who the real person that
Is the
we're
who.
pranking?
Yes. Thankfully, we made him draft first in this round since he actually
Who?
understood the rules since he wrote them. So now,
Yes.
who are we pranking with your team of pranksters? Who are we pranking? Let me just get
I want to have a prank that's so good it's just ruins the next month of their life. Like they just they can't function after the prank. And so I want to prank the worst person probably in the show to me. It would really help all of us the most.
Trump?
Howie Roseman.
Oh, okay.
I want Howie.
Bring it in. Bring it in.
I want Howie to just forget everything.
Howie will never be as good as he was up till this moment after that statement. I believe in it.
Howie Roseman, I want prank.
I love it.
I want Walter at Howie's house.
This is what it looks like when you fuck another man in the ass. Is this your homework, Larry?
I want that scene.
Is this your homework, Howie? Howie, is this your homework? Howie, is this your homework? We know what his homework is. We know what's his homework. Howie, is this your homework? Is this your homework, Howie? All right, so that's a good one. That's a great one. So we're not, Dan Snyder's off the board. Howie Roseman's off the board. Who am I pranking? Yikes. Thankfully, I live in a target-rich environment in 2025. There's a lot of possibilities here. I'll tell you what. But based on the first two picks, if I were to stay in that kind of like that theme of this is who we're pranking, then I think I would say, so we're going with a little bit of mean-spiritedness. Is that what you're saying?
I did. You don't have to, but I did. I want Howie pranked. Yeah.
We're gonna shit someone's house, Ken.
Yeah, we're shitting at someone's house,
Yeah,
and I hired the guy
of your own poop.
I hired the guy. I mean, Danny Ocean. I mean, the whole franchise is built on them getting something over on not very likable characters.
He's not a real guy, Ken.
He's a real
That's
guy.
not real shit. It's not real fire. It's not a real brown paper bag.
But he's bringing the shit. He can still shit in the bag.
Not a real smell.
It's not a real smell. George Clooney's shit does not smell. Everyone knows this. Derek told me that in between on the commercial. The
Caesar.
The Caesar.
If you have a Caesar, your shit don't stink.
Your
Is that what you're
shit
saying?
do not
What about
stink.
a Cesada?
All right, so what am I doing here? What am I even doing here? Like, who am I out to get?
I know this is one of the worst questions Ken's
Yes.
ever had to answer.
I don't.
And Snyder has already been scooped up.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's a very easy one.
So let's just go through it. I mean, just real fast. I mean, is there somebody who is so singularly responsible?
There's two obvious answers here to me
for making my life
And
miserable.
One of them is ultra hyper local for Ken Meringolo.
Are you talking about a member of the media?
No.
Give me another hint. Give me one more hint.
Give
me one more hint about someone who I need. It's not sports related?
It is. And it's your home, your college city and sports related.
I mean, okay, so on one hand, I mean we could go Kevin Willard style, but I don't think that's what you're saying. You're talking about something Baltimore related. You're talking about Peter Angelos.
You're goddamn right.
I'm going, but I did think about PA, but I'm gonna say
that'd have been fun.
I'm gonna say, yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna say Peter Angelos.
And I'm gonna follow up with, you guys left me, Gerard Jones, because if there's one guy. It's nasty ass Jerry, and I would like to if I could pull something off on Jerry Jones, and if we could all do what we just said we could do, it'd be the best April 1st ever.
Yeah,
it really would.
I got a couple really good ones in on the Skins 15 years ago.
I don't know if Greg mentioned this, but dong picks don't count.
But they do.
And nor do scratch and sniffs. I don't know if you read the bylaws.
What I'm trying to remember. The best one was when we said that FedEx Field was hosting a Madden tournament on the Jumbotron, and we got everyone to call the ticket office asking how they could sign up for it, and they're like, please tell people it's a joke.
Fair.
We had another one against the Redskins. Every year we had one against the Redskins for a while until we were like, maybe we shouldn't do. Maybe we should do
Oh look! Oh man, Greg did. He did work. I'm sorry, but shit.
Roger American Jigsaw from Saw. Jerry J. He got Jerry Jones. P Diddy. So Zach Morris. We went to that well. Sheldon, Big Bang Theory. Obviously,
I love it. Wait, what's the next week's topic so I can study?
We need the next week's topic.
By the way, study means like it's fun study. It's like you should be getting I want to bring someone from like our inner.
Oh, I remember.
Like
I remember
from the board.
We did a thing where
only responsible board members. Sorry.
I'm trying to. We did one where we had people could try out for the Redskins. I think it might have been around like a work stoppage scenario.
Yeah,
that was a good one. We did do that one, and but the better one was the PlayStation tournament. All right, next week's draft. Here we go. Put it on the screen.
Oh, let's effing go.
Draft your top pregame tailgate pump up songs playlist. 6 songs, any type of music. There will be a bonus 7th round question. Board votes on favorite pregame playlists.
Let's go. I want the sounds of the basement from the sounds of the board from the basement. That's the playlist I want to play all freaking spring and summer. Let's go. Let's go. And we all know EO it's like the Tiger Woods.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do I get? You cannot vote for that. Sorry. That is the unvotable. I love it.
We're coming back in 7 days. We're going to talk about tailgate playlists. We're going to talk about the impending draft. I believe we're well inside 1 month for the draft. We're getting an inch closer. Next week, we're going to get back into a little bit more traditional stuff. Now, next week is not going to be our draft show, but we're going to start moving more towards it. Yeah. We'll understand more like how we need to address it. We'd love to have people have a late round. It looks like at this point in time, it looks like we're going to have to be pretty freaking smart on day 3. So everyone have a day 3 guy next week. Everyone who's coming back next week have a day 3 guy in mind. Somebody hits a home run in day 3 every year.
You own it.
Kind of needs to be us.
And now let's pick our first one.
Yep. Until then, this is my man Derek Ilfit.
Thanks, boys. Thanks, guys.
Kevin Ricca.
And until next week, be a good sport.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That's old school.
Yeah.
What was T's?
T's. I think T's was don't get up in my business.
Don't get up in my business
unless you want to get throat chopped. Wop, wop, wop.
Don't.
I think
want
that was
none,
T's.
won't be none.
I don't want to speak for T, but I think
be a
that was
good
his.
sport.
Yes.
I remember that. It was be a good sport.
Yeah.
I'm Ken Meringolo. Thank God it's Tuesday. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, we'll be back in 7 days. How about take us out of here, EO?
What a fun night, man. Always is.
We got another theme. We got some more theme music coming from EO. We heard the preview of it. EO, are we any closer? I mean, obviously, it's
so exciting.
It's exciting to us. I'm actually.
When it comes, it comes.
I know.
Let it season. Let it.
The guy's been
marinate,
traversing all over the West Coast. Sure. I get texts. He was like looking for restaurants ideas, and are you guys familiar with a chain called Culver's? I am not.
I believe I've heard of it. I thought it was in the Midwest.
Yeah, he was somewhere.
Is it a steakhouse? Is it a meat? Is it a meat?
I don't know, but he was asking.
Yeah, I don't know.
The interweb if Culver's was the place. I wish I would have known. I would have told you, but I had nothing to contribute. Right. And I know you were in a bind. So, anyways, thank you so much. EO's going to take us out tonight. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you in 7 days.
If I don't pee soon, how did I get here?
We're still live. Still live, Derek. Go ahead.
Do it all over again. This song, I don't care, man. This song bangs.
That was awesome. That was fun.
Yeah, man.
Good times, man. Time goes so fast.